Sorry for technical difficulties, everybody.
You're gonna such funny, but splicing it together uploading like a 2-minute episode.
Yeah, no, that's just going to annoy the hell out of me. I might have to stitch those together. But now we have the wonderful Grimmeth streaming for us. But you guys won't know that because this is all going on YouTube.
Alright.
We'll see. In that case, we shall continue onwards. I'm trying to keep track of where we were in the conversation.
I said I will trust your wisdom and judgment.
Very well. It will nod.
On dragon staying and stuff.
I'm glad that you respect my decision. You're a lot more well fought than many of your kind who come rushing for adventure and treasure.
I will shake his head slightly at the thought of stealing treasure. Ridiculous.
It's not, no.
We come in here and begin punching it to get his money. Yeah, right.
It does have a large hoard right
That
to its
would
left.
go great.
It has a large hoard like over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
It
see
hasn't
the-
offered us any of that, though. But inquiring about
that's
that might
his
seem
hoard.
rude. I mean, he's doing a lot of good laying there on the floor.
Peers at you. Well, if your imperial business is over, you are welcome to stay here for the time being, however long it would take to get your associate here. Or if you need to go fetch her, then so be it. You are welcome to return back. Vargel should hopefully not bar your entry this time.
All right then. We have also brought someone with us that you might, who might be very excited to meet you, knowing that you live in his domain. The Emperor himself has been brought with us, although he is currently underaged. Perhaps it would be good to have a conversation with a being such as yourself. There might be much good you could teach him.
The Gold Dragon quirks his head slightly to the side.
I mean, you basically just said, "Hey, Gold Dragon, be my babysitter." Well, we go gather
I mean,
mushrooms.
no, I'm okay with that, and he probably is too. It's a gold dragon. Whatever he tells William is probably going to be super mega profound.
Intriguing idea. Very well. Bring him here. This shall be. I'm very curious, as I think as much as he'll be, to meet each other. He looks over to the White Dragon. You better not get any ideas. He slides into the corner a little bit.
I feel sorry for him. They just beat him up.
I mean, he is probably evil in a house of good dragons, so. You know.
Like, whites are known
Get-
for being, like, evil, aren't they? So
We should probably go get
Evil and also.
Oh, well, it is, our imperial business here is then done with for the time being. We will proceed then to a bit of more of a personal visit, perhaps.
Very
If
well.
you don't mind such informality.
It will be good to have some company for once. And I'm sure, with your reputation, you'll have something intriguing to talk about. If you need to leave, Ragnell will guide you the way back. The forest will otherwise be a bit of a maze to you all.
I am interested in seeing many of the plant species that grow in these areas, perhaps taking some samples.
Smirks. A curious mind you have. Enjoy what the forest has to offer.
Do a slight bow of respect, and then he'll take begin to take his leave. Time to tell William that he has a free reign of the forest, and that he has a meeting with a giant, enormous god dragon.
Ragnell will show you the way out.
I'm sure he'll be excited. What he wanted, after all. Uncle Laurel got it for him.
It's very well. Shall I? You go back towards the ship. The silver dragon will sit. Well, actually, fly up with you to the top.
Yeah.
William, already excited at the sight of a silver dragon in front of him, and to express this news to him,
So,
Wait.
yeah.
where he goes exceptionally wide-eyed. Colroon looks exceptionally surprised.
Time to talk to the most powerful dragon in the world. Well, one of them anyway.
Colroon seeming also very anxious at this.
There's a white dragon, so you might want to bring Karun with you.
Right. Ragnar will fly them down, since neither of them have a good way of flight.
Clips.
Sorry, paladins are not known for their power to fly.
It's true.
That's not what you think, though. At least not in my. I always think of paladins with.
After
wings,
delivering William, Laura will go out and hunt for some mushrooms and plants and saplings and whatever. Because I'm sure William will be all squeals and all those loud child voices. I mean,
Such is hurt.
Yeah.
oh my
Artemis,
God, I'm the size of half its eyeball.
Artemis will offer to walk with Laurel.
Oh sure, I'm sure you know the force better than I do.
He certainly does.
Scholar will go with Laurel as well.
I'll just stay here.
Stay there with William. It's okay.
Very well.
It's okay.
In that case, I'm seeing these lot go off to the forest.
Split the party.
Zoe.
Party.
I didn't mean to drag Zoe, but apparently Zoe got caught. Also,
Zoe can be dragged back.
yeah, I'll drag you back in a second. For some reason, map doors.
Map doors.
Putting things in the darkness.
What are you doing, map doors?
Maps was like,
Why are you dying on me?
It's more Java just going.
Probably.
I'm Java.
Jabba left.
Java just gave up on life.
Jabba's not even here anymore.
Java's got his
It's
own shit to
unsettling
deal
that
with.
this is right next to the place with the dead people.
They're
I'm not gonna-
dragons, though.
Right, I'm just gonna sit next to him.
The white will constantly peer at you, seemingly wanting to say something, but apparently also not wanting to at the same time.
I'll chat him up later. Hear what he has to say.
Although was it that to Manikai or to me? What's it?
To the white. Like, I'll talk to him later. Don't worry about him. He's just being
Oh, who is he peering at?
He basically peers at you a few times, peers at like William Colroon, looks at the gold dragon, looks at the gold dragon, looks like it's not going to do anything anymore.
It would probably not be good to talk to it.
Why not?
It's basically
Well,
like
maybe he's gonna be annoyed. I don't want to make his day worse.
it's basically like yeah, I can take her. Definitely him.
I mean, I think he's a dragon, right? He would like to, like, he's a white dragon. He's the puniest kind of dragon in a house with the biggest kind of dragon.
Mm-hmm.
He
Okay.
might just not be happy that you pay him any attention at all.
Okay, so I will approach and give a deep courtesy.
It grunts for a moment and looks at you. Zoe, I believe you said.
So he nods.
Suppose it's only fair. Azanoff is my name.
Nice to meet you, Asanov.
Peers over suspiciously at William Colroon again. Looks at you. Is there something you wish from me?
I'm just curious, since you stare at me and at the Emperor, want to hear what it seems like you want to say.
I'd personally like for all of you to leave. Having humans around is... Well, it's almost every encounter I've had with your kind have always been the violent kind. Surprisingly, I didn't start half of them.
So nice. Well, we're not here to fight anyone, and leave we will. So none of us will harm any of you, or try to.
And I won't be harming you. Though, even if I did, I'd have quite a bad day, it looks like. He looks at the gold. And I suppose you have met my sire.
We did.
And if he didn't kill you, then I'd have a double bad day.
I think it was. I don't know why he showed mercy. We've heard a lot about your sire, and I will be honest and say I was very scared. And I am a little uneasy now as well. Never been in a situation like this.
Scared of?
That I'm so tiny.
I guess we have an effect of that on your kind, don't we?
You're not. I will leave you alone. Seems like that is what you long for.
This was a surprisingly, though, pleasant chat.
So he smiles. Likewise.
It goes back to curling itself up.
She courtesies and walks away. Sits next to Aryan again. Who's a good pig, it says.
Iron is curiously looking around it. You know? Good, 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 good. These two are good. Not good.
You can walk around if you want. I'm not holding him here.
The place is huge. So if he wants to explore around, he can. But
They would never miss a few coins.
Aryan wouldn't steal. He's too.
no, he already has a bag of money to go shopping with. You gave him.
Yeah, he already has a lot of.
He's got a fucking Pegasus.
It's
that's
true.
funny. I just imagine this horse going up to a vendor, putting some coins down, and like pointing with a hoof, or
It's
like
done that.
a Hercules
It
Pegasus
did that in the
style.
arena, if you remember, to get carrots.
Oh,
Anyway, meanwhile in the forest,
Yeah.
being escorted by a silver dragon, who's mainly just showing you the way around. Like if you
Remember
have
remember to send her for Grimmeth.
that's true. Try to sticky note for myself.
Looking for interesting reagents.
Of which there
Maybe I
are,
can take some living saplings. Maybe I could take some interesting fruits and whatnot.
of which there are many.
Whatever can be gathered is good. I'm back at holding this sort of thing.
Nature or, what I'm sure you're going to like, an alchemy check.
Yes.
As you find it sufficient.
What was that? It was just for show.
Okay, that's a lot.
It's 19.
Well, while I work out how much you've just gathered,
Yes.
Ragnar will look down to you.
Safe to say, the dragon has to fly more than twice. So I need this tree and that tree and that tree and that tree.
Yes.
We just have this square kilometer of Earth as well.
I don't think you can carry that much.
Go a few times.
Whips had like 5 bags of holding. It's like, oh,
Say that now.
watch me.
So while gathering this sort of thing, he'll sort of reach this human with his mind. And ask.
Does that?
But I don't talk anymore. That's for plebs.
It's true. It's true.
He'll just reach him with his mind and inquire as to his name. Usually he'll hear the voice, Laurel's voice in his head, saying, "So, you who ride dragons, what name would you go by?"
The knight will kind of slow for about half a step, and then carry on his normal pace, and will reply in his mind, "I go by the name of Artemis." And
Now, has Laurel heard of someone called Artemis living with dragons in
This
a
would be
secret forest?
This would be a local check.
Alright, let's see if I know of her.
I think Bollard has
Can't be
local,
that.
doesn't he?
Is it those two,
believe-
or is it just that one?
I mean, the name sounds familiar to you, but like Artemis on like Sanctuary of Dragons, but you're not sure. It sounds familiar.
Okay.
You can't really put any fingers on it.
It is not a name of great repute, it seems, for I have not heard it before.
Artemis smiles and says, I have been in I've been in contact with your empire, not all friendly, I must say. But then
Oh, it's still plucking mushrooms and stuff.
Artemis looks to Ragnar and says, but then I'm not entirely sure that is for me to say.
Looks at you. Discuss as you will. You know exactly what you're not allowed to tell about.
He nods.
As Ragnar kind of points out some more mushrooms with a talon.
Keeping secrets is not conducive to having us trust you with our lives, which will be necessary if you are to venture with us down below.
Ragnar looks to you. Do not blame him for this. The secret in particular is one which the gold wishes for us to keep. Not a personal secret.
And one that I am bound by. I'm afraid it is simply unable to be changed.
I see.
Much like that elf guarding the Emperor. I have similar vows. Artemis smiles. Says, from what I've heard, you've rose from rags to riches quite quickly.
So it seems, yes. And yet, even as high as we are, we could fall instantly with one wrong step.
Artemis nods.
That is why we're here. Keep pushing forward.
Artemis nods and says, well, if the gold requires me to work with you, then it will be done.
You do not know him well.
He smiles and says, I know him enough. In fact, my life.
And so, where were you born?
He
How
shrugs.
did you come to be here?
He just shrugs. Says, that is something I just simply do not know.
Or frowned slightly. So it seems then that you know very little of yourself.
Of my early years.
You've always been here, to your knowledge.
Yes.
The Silver Dragon looks down. He was brought here as a young child. One of the few times the gold has been insistent on taking action of some kind was rescuing him.
From what?
The gold has not told us.
I see.
You'll have to speak to him, and maybe if you're lucky. I don't have a clue.
Artemis kind of chuckles.
That's alright then. And your prowess, you will not be a hamstring around our legs when we go down below. You are capable of moving through difficult terrain, climbing, flying, breathing underwater, hiding yourselves among a horde of evil, unlike what the surface has ever seen.
Artemis won't say anything for a few minutes, and we'll just say, fighting in tunnels isn't what I'm used to. Fighting in, kind of gestures his hands around him and says, forest is what I'm used to fighting in. I can adapt.
You don't give yourself enough credit. Despite being human, you are definitely powerful, has to be said.
And what have you done to gain such power? Has it just come naturally? Have you trained? Done any deeds I might know of, even though your name does not follow them?
Artemis smiles and says, deeds of battle, yes. A small town may remember me. There are battlefields around here that few have left. But
I see.
a hindrance, I doubt I will be.
I suppose we shall see. As I said earlier, it is quite some time until we are going to be going below. There will be much to do before then. Do you intend to leave this place before or after we have decided exactly when to go?
Artemis shrugs and says that is down to the Great Gold. He is our sire, in a sense.
And if
Our
you were to
liege.
disagree with his word?
It would not be a very good day for me. Smiles.
So you would not just do what he asked you to?
He kind of chuckles and says, if he commands me to do something, I will do it. For there are good reasons. But when it comes to helping you, if he tells me to help you in every way I can, then I shall.
And if he told you to help us, and then at a later date to make sure that we did not escape the Underdark, what would you do then?
I believe that would be against my codes, and thus I would not be able to carry them out.
These codes, are they written down, something you could access?
Arca smiles and says, I need not it to be written down. I recite them every day.
You will have to let me listen in once. If it's not too intrusive.
He quirks her head and says, I'm afraid I can't let you listen into a few of them. I can tell you some others. But some I am not allowed to tell you.
I see. Very well then. If you have any questions, do ask them. I am knowledgeable about many things, and I don't know how much you have been outside of this glade, but the Empire is vast.
Artemis nods and says, I know much of your empire. I have not been secluded.
As you may know, Ragnar looks at you, this glade has not always been here.
I know.
The glade has a habit of moving. The Great Gold not wanting to let its location be easily found.
I thought as much.
We only kept it here this long for your benefit.
And that gave us a few hiccups along the ride.
Nothing we can't. Then the rest of us are martially prowessed.
Artemis nods.
I'll continue to gather his reagents until he's satisfied that he has enough.
Ragnar will look at you again, halfway through. Earlier you were asking Artemis about his code, his loyalties. Where do yours lie? If I may be so bold.
So my loyalties lie with myself. I follow a code that would be that all lives are equal. I wish for the world to be one where everyone can live in the way that they intend to, without harming others. This is not currently the Empire's official policy. However, I do intend to make it so. Freedom to live life as one sees it's fit is a common good, and I have a habit of working towards the common good.
While sometimes I can see freedom being a danger, I can certainly respect your goals. You're true enough.
No.
Actually, we kind of had a panic in there, which means we've had to summon Grimmith because Halldamir can't stream.
Yeah,
Oh, I see.
it's okay now.
Okay, good.
As you were saying, Doug.
That's all.
Almost looked at Dragon and says, perhaps you've heard of the Volsenbrach Corporation.
I've heard whispers and rumours of it. We don't often interact with, well, the deep social environments that your towns put together, but we know of them. And your airships.
And nods, yes, I'm rather proud of those. Mr. Ballard.
I believe the gold even inquired at one point if he knew where they were being stored so he could study one.
He is in luck then. I would be delighted in having him visit. Who knows, if this glade can move, perhaps it can move closer to the Imperial City.
That'll be the Great Gold's responsibility, unfortunately. We'll see. It'll certainly make it easier to defend your city against whatever might come.
And for us to defend your glade against whatever might come.
A soft smile on his giant maw as you say that. As he continues to point out reagents. Many of which Laura doesn't recognise all of them. You know, he can very quickly discern the properties of many of them.
Different like the Fey world or something. Well, I'm sure he'll find lots of things that he can use to make new and wonderful products.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
After you gather as much the amount listed there, it starts falling to dusk.
I suppose we'll return then. We will also go and get William and Zoe and bring them to the airship again. That's probably the best place for us to sleep.
Admittedly, I don't know if you can be safer than next to, well, one as big as the gold, but
It would not be proper for the emperor to rest in such a place. Not at the current time, I don't think. He's not in his official position yet, or right now, and it would be better. It would be more proper if he was to return to it before nightfall. One thing he has yet to learn is the great responsibility he will have, and that sometimes there are rules, even if we dislike them.
yes, there are always rules.
Regardless, I'm sure if the great Goldworm wished to, he could come to the airship in a smaller form and stay with the Emperor in such a way.
The Great Gold would never do so.
Why, then I think we are of the same mind.
He has a personal reason to stay where he is. A matter of duty, as it might be for him. Regardless, I will show you the way back. As he will take you back to the main hall. You saw Bargo out there at one point, just chilling in the forest.
Sure.
Not really giving much of a opinion to you again. As you come back, you see the Great Gold, basically just chatting with William on one side of the room. His voice toned down quite a lot to try not echo so loudly. The wife no longer giving suspicious looks and just kind of like curled up, just watching.
Shall enter. Looking to the others, giving them a mental note that perhaps it is time for us to retire back to the airship for the night. We can return here again tomorrow if need be. But Laura will need to travel to get Sylvina. Well, he'll probably send a message to her for her to teleport to the airship.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best way to do it.
Otherwise, you'll be spending like a whole week of travel. Probably.
Yeah, and she has been on it before. So.
Yeah, she knows what the airship looks like. And she can just scry you to work out the location.
I don't know if you can but you could try Ballad.
Or Colroon, for example.
Yeah.
Well, I would get a bonus for the save.
It's true.
Well, you would forgo it, right?
I don't know if I can. It's
You can.
just I
You
get
can-
bonus. I can I? Okay,
can
it's just I
voluntarily
gain
fail
a
a save.
bonus to. Oh, I can voluntarily save. That's true. Yeah, I was gonna say because I just gain a bonus on saves against allies.
Yeah. All right then.
The Great Gold looks to you. I assume then, by that message you sent, and yes, I should tell you now I can hear them, even when you don't intend so.
How rude.
I wish that. I'm afraid it's not something I can simply turn off. Though, if you wish to take him back to your airship, you feel that'd be a safer place, go ahead. Otherwise, there are areas he could stay here. Your choice.
Well, we'll look to Karoon. He's security officer after all.
Corun doesn't seem as anxious anymore about the giant gold dragon. Actually, he seems pretty relaxed about it now.
Sure, it's his decision.
I mean, you know, he thinks he prefers the airship.
All right.
Yeah, the airship at least he knows the layout of.
Yeah, and we can we're in control. Even though it wouldn't be so nice if we got attacked by a giant gold dragon. You know.
I must say though, he starts telepathically talking to Laura only.
What did he say?
He starts looking at you two only. He starts telepathically talking to you only. Yeah, my tongue's gonna go. I need a new drink. Naive the boy is. He needs He needs much time to grow into his wisdom, it seems. A good heart, though, he has.
Yes, luckily. After what he's been through, it can be tough to keep such an attitude. We are, however, as you can see, taking care of the Empire in his absence. And hopefully when he grows up into the man he is destined to be, he will take over and continue the work that we start.
I hope so. It'll make a change from the Empire's past. On a more personal level, there are things I may wish to speak to you about once this necromancy business is handled. Though you're free, as said, you're still free to come here and commune for now with me. He looks over to William Colburn. Enjoy your trip back.
Yes, it was said that you knew much of great magic.
It is true. I am very capable when it comes to magic.
Then perhaps at a time where you preferred, we could have a bit of a talk. There are some things I would like to run by you, now that I have the, well, once-in-a-lifetime chance to do so.
Once in many generations, it seems. Very few have been here, as I've mentioned.
Yes. You wish us to keep your existence secret?
That would be for the best.
Right, then I will make sure to include that in the message I'll send.
Especially with many of the other dragons going missing. This place coming under danger would be catastrophic.
Yes.
As he will lay his head to rest against the floor and just allow you to leave.
I'm sure we will.
You're-
We'll
you're-
also
you're
this
what?
evening send off the message that tomorrow it'd be great if Sylvina would show up and explain her idea to a mammoth of a gold dragon that she should not tell anyone about.
She'll send that confirmation that she'll come and keep it hidden enough.
Good.
The White will watch you as you leave. Back to the airship for the night. And during the night, nothing happens. It's a very calm night. The moon seeming almost brighter here. And the cloud just not really covering this area. How exactly is the airship parked, though, becomes a good question. Is it just parked right above the board, or do they go high in the air during the night?
Generally, we go above the clouds, then we all go inside because it's fucking cold outside, and then we tell it to stabilize itself. It's just a gentle rocking,
Okay, that's fine.
like if it's resting in clear waters.
The cat still hates it.
It's fine. It's in a cabin.
Yes, the night will pass, and the next morning, Sylvina, the Duchess of Necrodus, will teleport onto the main deck, looking around for you.
Sure, I'll probably already be up.
I can move you onto the main deck for the talk. It's fitting. I guess maybe not the great. Oh god, map doors. Why did you explode all my windows out? They're everywhere. There you go. Ah, Laurel. She looks out over the side.
There's Duchess.
This is not quite the place I expected it to be.
It moves around, as it turns out.
Though admittedly I was not expecting what you told me was here.
It came as a surprise to me too, as well. Now, it would be good to just hold this meeting as soon as possible. I imagine there's many magical details. It might take a little bit of time to explain.
Of course.
You seemed very interested in your idea.
I hope he doesn't have any problem with my art. That would be quite disappointing.
As I think he keeps an open mind, especially as, well, the legacy of his people might be obliterated, as it was. Now, shall we go?
Very well.
Yes, Owen with the flying. She doesn't need to be held.
Who exactly comes down to the place today, then?
Well, I suppose we could arrange for William to take a tour through the forest today, since he is, like, fey-blooded.
Very well.
Right,
Right
he would
now.
like that. You take the two annoying, sort of a little bit of a bossy silver dragons with him. Show him around.
Ragnar will give a tour, then.
Yeah. Then we have the gold dragon all to ourselves. All the boring meetings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Laura will certainly go.
Probably will go.
Very well. I assume Zoe comes as well with Arian back again.
Yeah.
You are met by Artemis in the morning as well. We're next to Barg now at the entrance to the forest. And you are directed in. Artemis giving the tour in, as he knows his way, mostly.
Mostly. It's a bit harder for him.
You've got a far better idea than any of these guys do.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's a decently long walk in, but here we go. How does Zoe feel about Selvina being here?
It is also
I don't
purple
know.
lipstick.
Why? Because of the lipstick?
Purple lipstick.
She looks evil. Like, damn. She totally looks like a... Like
Artemis sees her as well, remember?
It's true. And Artemis does have a thing to tell him if somebody is good or actually evil.
She will not register as evil to you.
Well,
Protected.
still to be seen.
Why? Does Zoe feel anything with her since you say that?
No. I was just wondering how you feel.
So judging.
No, then nothing. He doesn't really know her.
She just walks in her long black gown.
Mm-hmm.
So dark looking.
It seems almost like overly done, possibly even intentional that way.
Well, I suppose we should go and have a conversation with the great gold dragon about the potential of the idea.
As you walk into the room, you see the white. Actually, be over here and just curled up near the pile of gold. As you walk in, looks at Sylvina. Doesn't say anything, just looks at Sylvina. As the great gold seemingly welcomes you in.
Yeah. Yes, what's up?
Back again, and I see you've already brought your aid.
She is the wonderful lady, Sylvina, of the Duchess of Necrotis, and she is the master of this plan.
And Queen of Necromancy, if your title's to be believed. Oh, so you've heard of me. It's a pleasure to know that. She bows.
Now, shall we begin?
Yes, actually. Right. I hope you don't mind, but I would just like a moment to speak to her in private. There's something I must gauge without any external influence, you understand?
Laurel looks to Sylvina.
She looks nervous for a second. She gains her composure. Nods.
Says you're sure you're okay with this. You're a guest, and you're under my protection.
Gold looks at you. I understand she's under your protection. No harm will befall her. And I doubt she can do too much harm to me.
You understand my suspicion, however.
You do not believe the word of a gold dragon?
John says, I have lived this long by being cautious.
I suppose a wise action.
Will you at least tell me what it is that you intend to do?
Simply talk, nothing more.
Go to Sylvina and say, simply think my name. I will be right in here. And I'll step outside.
Or outside the building.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, outside the room.
Yeah, outside the room, which, either go to a side room or outside the front door, your choice.
Well, just outside the door of the room.
The main entrance is this room.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's
Fine,
like
I'll-
side rooms. And
There are side rooms, like an entire
Closest side room, I suppose.
Sure. The closest side room looks like a very grand dining hall, though clearly not used very much. Except maybe possibly one seat at the far side.
One seat for one human.
Artemis is also directed out of the room.
He's fine with that.
Actually, even the white is directed out of the room, which is like, oh. So he kind of just sits himself in the corner and just curls up again.
Or we'll ask it why it's here.
What do you mean by that?
It seems uncharacteristic for one of your color to be around those of the metallic.
My sire directed me to be here because he understands what the gold is doing and believes it is correct.
I see.
Even
That suffices.
even if they have arguments now and again. Though, I guess it's natural by their natures. Backs himself to a corner. Still looking at you. It is not loyalty I have to the gold, it is to my sire, but my sire is on his side, so